Okay, so basically we have, okay, I categorized the different approaches in order to perform the existing procedure that I taught. So we have two approaches in the C language in order to basically create or open existing files, read and write, and close a file. Okay, so we have two different approaches. So we can include basically in your C language two different header files, and you use the functions inside. So in the first approach, so I categorize for you that, okay, so what are the functions inside of the stdlib.h? So you can include this header file and use the functions inside in order to do that procedure. If you are going to basically create or open up an existing file, so first of all, if you are going to use the std.h, so you need to basically define a file data type, and in order to open up a file, so you need to use the fopen, and you need to basically introduce the path name. So this path name, it means that, okay, if you are going to open up an existing file, so you should basically use this path name to the file that is existed before, or maybe you are going to create a file, this is the path that you are going to create a file. And the mode here, it specifies that, okay, so you are going to open up the file in which mode. For example, you are going to open up a file in order to only read the file, or you are going to open up the file only to write in mode, or maybe reading and writing mode. And so the file that you are going to open, it is a binary file or is a text file, so you can introduce this stuff inside the mode. So by these two basically functions, okay, by these functions and also these variables, so we are going to create or open up an existing file. So this is the first step. And the second step is just, okay, reading and writing to a text file. Okay, if you are going to read and write to a text file, so you can use fprintf and fscanf by the first approach. So first of all, you are going to pass, okay, this fptr. This is your handler in order to access to the file that you open. So either in the cases that, okay, you had the file already in your file system, or maybe you are going to create a file. Okay. So as you see, the return value of the fopen function is a file star, and you are going to store basically the return value of the fopen inside the fptr that, okay, so you create it here. And so in the following basically procedure, in the following step, so you need this fptr in order to read and write and close the file. So as you can see here, for reading and writing to a text file, for example here in the first step, so I need to pass the file stream, and this file stream is basically this fptr that I introduced in the first step. And then, okay, you need to specify a buffer in order to, okay, in order to contain the data that you are going to write to the file. And then here fscanf, so basically you need you need a buffer in order to read from the file. Okay. Okay, so this is the okay, so for reading and writing to a text file. But we have also some functions in order to read and write to a binary file in the first approach using the std.h. So we have fread and fwrite functions. So if you are going to use fread, okay, so we need a buffer in order to store some things that I'm going to read. And so I need basically a size and number of blocks, and also I need to introduce the file handle here. So the last argument here, so it is obvious, it is the fptr that we introduced, so we need to pass. And then the buffer is the buffer that we are going to store some things that I read from the file. And the size, it means that size of the size of each block, okay, inside the binary file. And then mb is the number of blocks that you are going to read from the binary file. And for fwrite, so it is basically vice versa. So we need a buffer in order to write to the file. So the size size of the block and number of blocks that you are going to write to the file that you specified, basically the file by the file handler here. And finally, when you complete your work, okay, so the another thing is that, okay, I forgot to say this, fseek. So the some things that it is one big advantage is from the binary file comparing to the text file is that if you are going to read some things, for example, at the middle of the text file, so you need to read from the beginning, go to your desired position, and then so you read the some things that you want. But for the binary file, so there is a possibility in order to change the position. So you suppose that, okay, inside the binary file there is just like a cursor, so it has a position. So you can change the position of this cursor in order to read basically the specific position. So you can change it, but you don't have this possibility inside the text file. So the text file is not possible that, okay, I change my position and then read from that specific position. But in the binary file, I can say that, okay, so I don't need the first two blocks, and I'm going to start reading from the third block. Or maybe I'm going to read from the end of the file to the beginning of the file. Okay, so there is a cursor that by moving this cursor, I can specify that exactly, okay, I'm going to read which position. So in order to do that, so basically this operation is called seek. And in order to do that, so you need the fseek function. So the first argument is the file star stream, and then you specify the whence. So this is the base, so and the offset, and this is the offset from the whence. So what it means that, okay, I'm going to say, for example, I'm going to set whence to the, for example, to the last position of the file, and I'm going to say the offset from the whence, okay, for example, I'm going to set the offset 2 from the last. Okay, so this offset is just the offset from the whence, and the whence is basically your base. You are going to determine that, okay, what is the base, and the offset is the offset from the base. Okay, so but there are different, basically there are different value for the whence, so we can use them in order to set the whence. Is that clear? Okay, and then finally, okay, for closing the file, so you are going to use fclose, and then you pass the file star stream. This is the handler that I said that, okay, so when you open up a file, so you need that one. Okay, just some things that I'm not sure, because as I see here, suddenly I see, maybe it's my mistake. I suppose that fscanf here. So I have some doubts regarding to the second parameter. I'm not sure that, okay, this is true, because fscanf, I'm not sure about these parameters. So, but I will back on and then I'll talk about this. Okay, any question? Okay.